yeah, so I'm trying to get back to what I'm supposed to be doing and go live, do all the things. Thank y'all for being patient. All right. Oh, I had an interview today, y'all. Apparently, people want to like hire me to do this work on a different stage. So if you have a testimonial about Dolabant and how my work has helped you, send it to me, video or audio, and I'm gonna tell these people that I do this for real, that I'm the greatest coach of all time when it comes to this kind of work, and get people together. And if y'all have a message to support that, I'm gonna do that. So we can do this on a bigger stage. Let's tell more people that they are the value. Let's tell more people to wake up and it's the end of America as we know it, but it's fine because we can get emotion and be okay. Let's tell more people the party that we're having over here in the dollhouse. Like it's actually a party. It's actually fun times. I'm actually excited to do what I get to do with you guys. And I don't know. I don't feel like enough people know. So if you want to help me tell that story to more people, just send me a thing, a voice memo. Use your ISDR, right? You can basically be like, I'm such and such. I'm from this place. Here's my background. Here's my story. Whatever. What city you from? Okay, all that. And then you're like, um, the story and the struggle. You're like, yes, I had this background in corporate, and then I decided to start a business. And from that time, I'm floating in the wind. I'm all the way outside. I don't know what's going on until I discovered Dar Levant. And then tell me, I don't know how you met me or wherever, and then as a result, of work with her or the things I've learned or just this and this and that, and then tell me the outcomes. That's all I want you to do. Just if 4 or 5 people do that, it'll be plenty. But that would help me because they like I said, they want to write a check for me to be great. I do this all the time. I do this for free. Now they want to give me a check to do this. So if y'all want to help more people to be great and to get out of their comfort zone and to get off their assets and be okay out here, send me that. Okay. So anyway, it's day 22, 100-day challenge. We're outside. Okay. So let me ask you this: when is the last time that you've been to an art gallery?
Sorry, doll. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Tracy has her hand up.
Oh, go ahead, Tracy.
She dropped something in
Not
the
the
chat.
raised hand, right, and now she on mute. Hold on.
There's
hold on,
something
hold on.
in the chat.
Let's see. Wait, what is it? Apps. What is that? Let's see what that is. CapCut. Oh, well, I know about CapCut. I don't use it, but okay.
I actually have been using it for my social media posts.
It's helpful.
I used it for my slides. Yeah. Basically, I made some templates in there that I can swap out the words of the background.
Yeah.
So that they're just hanging out for me for the next week.
There you go. One less thing to think about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? One less excuse to give ourselves. But Tracy, if you come back on, it's great. Just jump in. Y'all can take yourselves off
right here.
Off of mute. Hey girl, hey.
So I just sent a link. First of all, yeah, I'll definitely make the video. I just gotta, look cute because okay. I'll definitely make the video. But I just sent something that a friend of mine, a yogi, someone that takes my yoga classes, she's trying to help me with my social media. And she sent me this thing called CapCut. I just put I wanted to know if you're familiar with it and what's your take on it.
We are, and we love it. It makes everything quicker and faster. Yes. CapCut. I can't think of the other ones by name, but yeah, it's something that helps you just do what you do it faster and get out the way. Get out of your own way, right? Stop overthinking it.
I love it. I love it.
Just be great.
Thank you, because I definitely need a video editing. She's telling me start to take all the content that I've been creating and make 60 to 90-minute form. She said I can go as long as 2 minutes, but she's like between 60 and 90 seconds because like you said, ain't nobody got time. I also, I sent her the thing for the summer school thing, the link, so she can join the WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
And then her name is Kayla. I don't know if she will.
Okay.
I know she's a part of a lot of groups too, but I just sent that to her. She's a psychic.
I'm about to tell
That's
people,
her job.
this is not a group. I'm not an entrepreneurship group. I don't know what you call this. I'm
I call it the dollhouse.
The dollhouse. This is a resting place. You know how you used to play tag as a kid?
Mm-hmm.
You running around, be doing whatever. But this is a place where you can plug in and be all right. There's a lot going on out here. I had a 67-year-old woman on today talking about, where was the dollhouse? I needed you 5 years ago. I just found out about you right now. This is a place where we can come and be all right. This is not another entrepreneurship group. This is not another program. This is not another curriculum.
No, but it's fascinating because I don't know where to place you sometimes when I'm telling people about you. It's
like,
crazy because
what is this place?
I almost feel like they have to find you in their organic manner, because it's only a couple of people I've told about you. They've jumped in and they're like, okay, this is cool. But they're like, what, how, why is she talking like what? And I get it, because it took me a while to get in the energy.
Yes. It's like, what is this? Yes.
So I don't like it. There's a part of me, there's so many people that I know that would benefit from this, but there's a part of me that
it's hard. Like, it's hard to tell somebody because you don't know what you're telling them. This used to happen. Tracy, you're not alone. I met you in the place that should not be named, but when I used to teach on Tuesday and Thursday by popular demand, every freaking Tuesday and Thursday, we're meeting and just randomly meeting up and having class ? With my magical whiteboard or whatever. And I would be like, who are these people and where are they coming from? Like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, people were telling people, and I was like, what are you telling people? Like, what are you saying to them when you're inviting them? And they literally would say what you just said. They were like, listen, I don't know what to tell you. You just need to come. You need to come to Doll's class. She's having class Thursday. What you doing on Thursday? Nothing. You coming with me. You're coming. Like, nobody knew what they were coming into.
You are like the equivalent of yoga for me, because this is the reason why.
Yes, what is yoga? Explain that. Yes. Tell me why I need yoga.
No, but this is like the reason why sometimes I feel like I can't sell yoga, because I'm like, the results I get from yoga is because I stuck it through and I see the vision and I understand what it gives me. But could I say yoga was like great the first day? It probably was, but I didn't get it.
You couldn't find the language.
That's what I feel with you. It's like, I know exactly what I'm getting. And I know what to tell people, but it's like, you have to be in the energy. And it took me
girl, it took some time. It took some time.
200-day challenges. And I just stayed in it because it was entertaining. You were saying stuff. I didn't know Kendrick Lamar that well, didn't know Drake. And
you're like, what are we talking
about? I love the fact that, like, you speak like a star. Like, I notice things that people that are very people that either are famous or about to be famous, they remember things very well. Like, they could say, well, I lived in here, I knew this person, I did this, and then this song like that. That's how famous people talk. And I always admire that about, because it always tells me that they know their life is going to be something, so it's worth remembering. And people that do that fascinate me, and you do that. So I don't know. I'm just trying to. I want to invite a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that I know that are in the dollhouse. But there's more people I want to invite, but I just,
you don't know what you're inviting them to.
Crazy.
I know.
No, I know exactly what I'm inviting.
But it's hard to find the words. Yeah.
Huh? Like you follow her. Like, why? Like, what?
No, I know. Thank you for that. That's a good perspective, and to be honest with you, because I think that's what I'm teaching. I had a moment on yesterday. Shout out to Brittany and a couple other folks have been sending me their updated pitch. Like, I'm like, do it again. And then they work on their pitch again. And then I'm like, that's amazing. Do it again. Anyway, you keep going, like you're drilling for oil, and then bah, and then you hit the thing. It's like, oh my God. Like, so I was passed out yesterday because she sent me her new pitch. And some of y'all know Brittany. Oh my God. I was like, girl, you can now make money at any time, anywhere, any place, ever. Like whatever you want to do, you just walk to wherever you're walking and you go in there and you start talking like this, and people are gonna move. And this is what I realized my objective in life. It's to create a space where people can go deeper, do it again, find it, do it again. And all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, you tapped into the thing that makes you you, the thing that makes this version of you that's the value or the business or whatever it is that we're building. And I know that most people have never gone that deep. Most people have never done that much work. So any business.
This is why I say that I sometimes feel like you love us more than we love ourselves. Because no, they have not. They have not asked us to do this work. So it's mind-boggling. So yeah.
It is so powerful though, and so once we kind of dig in, so wait, I think any business is really that. It's like you have this concept, it's foggy, it's hazy, I'm not sure, but there's something there, and then most of us just stay on the surface and we try to go make some money. It's not going to work. 97% of us fail as a result, right? And then you go a little deeper, you try a little something, you do something else, what this work that we do here, you find it, and then once you find it, now you know what it is. Now we can reverse engineer and find the language for it. We could know what to call it. Like we could put a structure on it, and so I'm kind of proud of the fact that I'm building the dollhouse in front of you guys in real time, because these 250 people or so on this WhatsApp, it was only because they literally were just walking around this building. This place that should not be named was the largest. It is the largest entrepreneurship, whatever, in the world for Black people. I didn't ask them for nothing. They found me. Jay came, saw me speaking at Morehouse, and then came up to me, him and his wife, who's famous. If y'all Google these people, as she's all on People magazine, And then he was like, I would love to have you for what I'm building, and da. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, it sounds cool to me. And then they ended up giving me the office, the biggest office in the building, and the whole thing, and my logo. I need to call my lawyer. It's still on the wall of the building, 54,000 square foot facility for Black people building, whatever. We're building Black business or whatever. And it became organic, and we started teaching those classes and doing the thing, and people kept coming to the places that should not be named, and the Chase Lounge and all of that. And it's organic. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, like, they kept asking me, like, Doll, how are you winning? How are you out in these streets? How are you in Switzerland? How are you getting these awards from NASA and this place and this place, this place? I'm like, well, let me tell you, this is what I used to teach for SCORE, the Small Business Administration, I just told Google that today on my it's not an interview, but whatever. I'm like, did y'all forget? You featured me on Google for Startups, teaching people how to pitch. And I had to send them the screenshot. They were like, oh yeah, facts. I'm like, I do this for real. You know what I mean? Like just organically, like creating a space where people can get out of their head and get out of the employee and the consumer mindset and like walk their way back to themselves. And then from said place, now we have a thing, and now we got to put language on it, and then we come back. We get the 5-star pitch, and then we build on top of that. So I know that it's a process. I know that it's a journey. I know that it is not easy. I know that it's not super digestible, I guess, if you will, for people. I know that. Like, look at me today. I'm 20 something minutes late doing this right now. I know it's not easy to call it or to label what it is, but once we do it, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? It's that. So I'm kind of proud of the way that I'm able to show up, even though we don't know what to call this just yet. But going on Substack now and YouTube, and people are finding me in those streets. People are like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, now I see what it is. Oh my God, you're going to have a podcast. Like people are like getting it, even though I still don't quite have language for it. It's a place. It's an incubator, an accelerator. Like people have stolen all of our words, community, these words, people have taken those words and made them mean nothing. So those words don't work anymore for what it is we're building here. But I am creating a space for you to meet yourself, look in the mirror and say, that's actually who I am, and then change your habits to match that. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. I feel like I want to send a message out to all the people, because I'm sure, who knows how many people were in the waiting room while I was late today and jumped off. So I'm gonna put it in the WhatsApp and see if some folks will join us. But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all some good stuff today. It's day 22 of the 100-day challenge. Let me ask you some things. Let's go back to my question of the day. When is the last time, if ever, have you ever been to an art gallery? I got a lot of big, beautiful walls in the house that we're in now, our new house that we're buying and renovating. I'm kind of, y'all, if you've watched HGTV, like I actually can't. But we're doing it. It's happening. So there's renovation going on. We got a lot of good walls. So in a great art gallery, you don't just look at one piece of art and then leave. You know, you might walk in, a couple of pieces catch your eye or whatever. You stop, you look closer, you read the description, then you move to the next piece, and on and on. So you're kind of floating around the space. And after a while, you turn around, it's like, it's been an hour. I've been in here just checking all this stuff out. And that is what Instagram and Facebook are supposed to be for your business. This is not a place to drop billboards or a sales pitch or like buy this now or 20% off. I don't know why people do that in their Instagram feed. That is not what this is. I say Instagram and Facebook together because I don't go on Facebook. I got thousands of people on my Facebook from back in the day, from high school, from like when I used to go to church. Like, who are these people? I don't know. But apparently they're watching everything I do. Like, I had my god sister told me, she was out in the street. I don't know how she was connected to this lady, but it was somebody from my Facebook from years and years ago. I started doing going live every day for 100 days in like 2016. I did that the first time. Something like that. 2014, 15, somewhere in there. And yeah, it was right after my brother passed. So it must have been 2015. Anyway, this young lady was in the choir with me at one of the largest churches on the planet. I was the choir director. I know her face, I know her name, but like we didn't hang out. It wasn't like I was at her house every day. But I don't know how she knew my god sister, and she was like, "Is Doll okay? Have you talked to Doll?" And she was like, "What you mean? Yeah, she's fine." She said, "I haven't seen her on Facebook in a while. And I just wanted to check in. I wanted to know, is she cool? Is she good?" And she was like, yes, she's fine. But when she told me that, I realized, like, when you make a connection with people, and these social media platforms, these tools, like I said, they work for us. They have digitized the community that we've built organically. And so if we can make another video, make another post, and be outside and add value and show up on LinkedIn and do all of that, we are a living art gallery. You know what I'm saying? I just told my 67-year-old, one of my closest friends, no, oh my God, I think she turned 69 this year. I give people years back. But anyway, I think she's 69. Anyway, one of my closest friends, and I'm telling her about one of my students from back in the day. She was there when I raised $1 million, the last $1 million for Aquagenuity and all of that. She was working as my right hand. And now she's gone on to be vice president of something, community something for the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm so proud of her. I'm like, girl, you outside, like, wow, And I was trying to find her, so I pulled up her profile on LinkedIn and I sent it to my friend, who's also another mentor of mine. And I was just like, this is what I'm talking about. Because her niece, who's now a sophomore, I think at Spelman or something, is like, trying to get an internship or whatever. So I'm trying to connect the dots for them and all of that. And I realized, like, what we do on social, the things you post, the pictures you put up and all of that. You're like, LinkedIn is your professional, like your storefront. Okay. You're on Main Street. Flagship is like your archive or the mall where they can go deep with you, they can build trust with you, they can get all these hours of content from you. But your social, your gallery, where you can like point somebody to and say, look what I did here and there, and photos here and there, is Instagram/Facebook. Facebook, I'm saying because it's attached to your Instagram. Like my point is, I don't go on Facebook often because who's doing that? But if you do, it's great. There's still plenty of people over there. And more importantly, when I post to Instagram, I can also simultaneously post to Facebook. So if you treat them all the same, you'll fail. Okay, LinkedIn is a professional place where you can show up and add some value, get in, get out, and invite people, into your world. YouTube is immersive, 10, 20, 30, an hour long, however long. My format, the way I talk right here, should be on a podcast / on YouTube, okay? But Instagram and Facebook are experiential. You get these quick hits, you get these emotional moments. People can catch up with you and see what's going on and feel like they have a window into your world. It's like visual storytelling. So however you're capturing, if you're going live and you're capturing footage, it doesn't matter. Keep doing that. But I'm just telling you today and this week how to curate those experiences to make them awesome. By the way, I mean, snowstorm ? For Atlanta. Those of us who are in the ATL in the surrounding areas, it's getting bad out here. I don't know. They said we're gonna have four inches of snow, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot of snow. I don't know. We're not prepared. We're not prepared as a people, as a unit, for that. And I was caught in the snow in this great snowmageddon of 2013, 2014. So guess where I'm gonna go? Nowhere. I'm not leaving my house for the next week. So buckle up, guys. It's gonna be fun. We might do a snow day. We might do like a live snow day if everybody literally gets snowed in. And I'm gonna send y'all pictures of the backyard where the birds and the deer they live. It's gonna be really pretty if it snows. I mean, let's see. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, your Instagram and your Facebook is a walking gallery where you can have these emotional connections with people as they kind of walk through and like scroll through your past and all of that. So each one of these platforms has a role. We need them. We're using these tools. These people work for us. We need these tools to build trust with our audience and let people move through this pathway and kind of wander through like an art gallery on their own terms. Okay. So today we're going to talk about Instagram, Facebook, why you need a different strategy for that versus some of these other ones. Talking about how to use this as micro content that will hit people where they needs to make them feel like they want to take them on a journey with you. And we want to create content in 30 minutes or an hour a day for the whole week, not taking 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. And how to guide people from just casually scrolling across your page to actually considering taking a next step with you or even making a purchase from you. So here's the principle. And I'm trying to give my WhatsApp people some value since I was late jumping on, and I know some people jumped off. But here's the thing. Most business owners go on Instagram and Facebook and they post, let's say, once a week, right? They got 10 slides and they have some little topic and they, give you some pictures, or I was outside, I went to my friend's birthday party or something like that. Here's what I learned today, da, da, da. And they, and they get like 37 likes and 2 comments, and that's it. And they're like, my social media is terrible. It doesn't work for me. Like, da, 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 da. But no, social media totally works. It completely works. I got a friend that has 20 something thousand followers on his Instagram, and he's convinced. You can't tell him nothing different. I don't know. What do I know? But he's convinced that he's shadow banned. He said every time I post, I barely get, these kind of views. He might be shadow banned. And somebody said, what is shadow banned? I think he actually might be one of the 1%. 99% of people are not shadow banned, meaning nobody's seeing my post. The algorithm is not feeding my stuff to other people. Yeah, you probably just don't know what you're doing. You probably just aren't posting anything that anybody cares about. But in his particular case, he kept looking on there for this video that he posted, and he's like 400 views, 300 views, 500 views. Well, I don't know what happened. Something happened, and I went on my page, is what it is. I went on my Instagram and looked at it. It's actually, he had 22,000 views on this post. But on his page, he couldn't see, it didn't say that. It said something else, like 200 or 1,200 or whatever. He might be shadow banned, but for most people out here, social media works. Okay, the algorithm is not the problem, but you're trying to run a strategy. You need a different strategy for every platform. Okay, so YouTube is like, people are choosing to watch, hang out with you. They're searching. I use YouTube like I used to use Google. I'm literally putting a topic in there and letting all those videos come up, and I'm going to listen to your thought leadership. If you took time, you got receipts, you got research, the things that you've done to back up what it is you're doing and talking about on that YouTube video, I'm going to be locked in. I'm here for it. I want to know you're making my life better. I don't have to sit here and do 22 hours of research because you've already done it, right? So give me research. I'm able to see other videos that are similar to what you're talking about. And then if I like what you got going on, I'm going to subscribe so I get more of this. I want more of this. Like my new favorite comment to post on people's channels on YouTube, I say, if this channel is like this all the time, I love it here. It's a place. You're carving out a place, just like the dollhouse, like y'all said. We need language for what is the dollhouse to you? What is this place to you? Y'all help me out. And also, like I said, send me those videos and testimonies and stuff. I'm gonna get off of here by 3:30, so don't worry. We're gonna be fine. But anyway, they're choosing to sit down and hang out with you. They commit those minutes, that time to you. They're ready to learn something. Versus Instagram or Facebook, people are kind of mindlessly scrolling. TikTok's the same. I don't think I'm going to do a TikTok day. I'm not. So we're going to include TikTok and all this. But they're just scrolling. They're on the couch, they're in the bed. They're waiting in line. They're waiting in the back of their Uber, whatever. They're bored. They're not looking for education per se. They're looking for something that's entertaining, something that will strike their emotions, a place of escape. Okay? So if they have a different intention, the only currency in the world is the time, energy, effort, focus, and attention of another human being. They have another intention, a different intention for every platform. You need a different strategy. So when somebody opens their YouTube, they're ready to learn, they're ready to see what's going on, they're ready to sit down somewhere, some popcorn. It's just like opening Netflix. I'm going to be here for a second. When somebody opens Instagram/Facebook, their brain is saying, I want to feel something. Okay. So YouTube is for that logical part where I could sit back and zoom out and just take my time and learn. But that's the prefrontal cortex. Instagram is for your amygdala. So you can't do super long captions. You can't do super long stuff. You got to get in here and make an emotional spark. You got to make them feel something. So here's the playbook for Instagram/Facebook. We're creating experiences, not selling products. So think about, again, that art gallery. When you go in here to like talk to humans or go in here and bring people into your world. Remember, the only reason we do social media, I hate social media. The only reason we're doing that is to bring people into our world. Give them breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel to bring them back to our world. So if you were an artist, some of you guys are artists, you don't just put all 47 paintings that you got on a wall right here and be like, okay, here go my paintings. Pick one today, buy now, 10% off. Nobody does that. First of all, it's overwhelming. Secondly, I'm not ready. What are you talking about? I need to feel like I want to feel before I make a purchase. You know what I'm saying? So art galleries curate that experience. You walk through this room, something catches your attention, you stand there, you look at it. Y'all remember the episode of The Cosby Show where they went and got the piece of art, got the famous painting? Do y'all remember that? Tell me if you remember that. I can't remember the name of the painting, but it was a very famous picture. and she bought it in the story or in the show. It's like
I think I remember
her great
everything on the
uncle or something.
Cosby Show.
Come on, Cosby Show. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. I use the Cosby Show to raise my damn daughter. Okay, as a single parent, like sit here.
We needed it. We
Let me
needed it.
learn how to raise you without putting my hands on you. That was the Cosby Show for
Come
me.
on, Cosby.
Let's make it. No, wasn't that the episode? If it wasn't the same episode later on, Vanessa had brought some cheerleading friends or whatever, and they're like, "Ooh, you rich."
Right,
And then
you
they cleared
rich
up the-
because they're buying art and all of that.
And they said no. They said, "We don't. Why do you have to make you rich?" He said, "You ain't rich. You have nothing.
You have nothing. You
There we go.
have
Let me stop. Let me
nothing.
not get on my Cosby bandwagon.
Listen, we need a whole sidebar channel just to talk about that. They told her, Vanessa, they said, we're rich. Claire and Cosby said, no, we have money. You have nothing.
Just tell us and we'll stop giving it to you.
Listen.
That's like intuition right there. Like
Come
intuition's
on.
like, no, I'm rich. Okay.
Exactly. So anyway, for those of you on WhatsApp, I apologize. I tried to give you a little value. Check in. We're still online. We'll be on here until 3:30. But until then, to the next one. I gotta go. We're out. Pew! So yes, if they, they were buying that piece of art, and that was my first time being exposed to that world. They were auctioning and doing the, the thing at the auction. But the way art works, you walk into a place, you feel how you want to feel, you move around the space in your own space and time, right? You feel something catches your attention, you You go in, and then now there's a narrative, a story. You might ask a question. Somebody might say, oh, you want to talk to the artist? You can do all that. I've seen enough TV to know what that is. Then you got the flagship pieces that kind of define the artist and all of that. But throughout there, you have little pieces, little, how do you say that? Like descriptions on the wall, like little pieces that tell you what this artist was intending with each piece of work and all of that. It makes you feel connected to their world. That is what Instagram and Facebook are supposed to do. It's not, hey guys, I got something to sell you. You want to buy something? Here we go. No, it should be a series of little private micro moments that over time create an emotional connection from this person that never met you ever, and then you bringing them back to your world that you're building. So a moment of recognition, moment of insight, hope, proof, or invitation. Each post is like you putting something on the wall in an art gallery. Individually, that's valuable and amazing, but together, you're going to tell a complete story that they couldn't get anywhere else. That's how to think about social media. This is what got me over my hatred/fear of social media. Is understanding what it is and how it works. So the people that are scrolling, they don't get that all at once. It's over time. It's breadcrumbs. So you got to post today, another one tomorrow. I love this, and then they can go deeper with you. That's how you're supposed to be showing up on social. So they are like, whoa, I didn't know this existed, and now they come closer into this world that you're building. And I'm going to be doing that in front of you guys in real time, the dollhouse, because like, what is this? What is it here? But I love it here. And now, as I go back on social, like I just did an experiment on LinkedIn and got some people that I knew from way back in the day, and they just jumped into the dollhouse because I posted, but it was an experiment. I'm going to do it intentionally going forward. So anyway, when you're watching YouTube, people are ready. They're engaged, they're active, they're processing, they're ready to be there for 10, 20, 30 minutes, and they're building over time. Trust is building over time. So ultimately, most of us need to have like a body of work on YouTube where people can go and watch. When they're scrolling Instagram, it's driving behavior. They're seeking these emotional hits. Their dopamine is firing. That's why it matters. Like your background and your lighting and stuff is not because of anything other than they're like, ooh, that looks cool. Ooh, she looks cool. All of that. But they have a shorter attention span. Their pattern recognition is on autopilot. They're just scrolling until something makes them stop, right? And their limbic system is responding to these visual or emotional triggers. So you're able to build a deeper kind of trust through YouTube because you have more time. On Instagram/Facebook, It's frequent trust. The fact that I see this person every day, like, imagine if we used to walk through your neighborhood or go to the bodega or whatever. You walk the same street every day at the same time and you see the same people. So, those people that you don't know them from Adam, but every time you see them, you say, what's up? And you do that for 10 months or 10 years. You feel like you know them, even though you've not spent any time with them. That's what Instagram is. You're building trust through frequency. What you do most frequently becomes your frequency. Like, you spent so much time saying what up though in those micro moments, you still feel like you know them, and vice versa. So it requires a different approach. Instagram is about frequency and emotion, where YouTube is about depth and education. So I think that's pretty clear. So you can build relationships through those two different ways. So people ask me, do I need to be on all the platforms? I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do, but you need to be in a place where it's like, how much money do you want to make? Okay. Then that answers the question. As many places as you show up, that's going to collapse time and speed up how long it takes you to make money. So if you want to hurry up and be where you trying to get in terms of your revenue goals, let's be on all the platforms in the same vein. So you can combine, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook into, a pathway. So again, we're going to recognition, making sure people know who you are. Resonance, when they see something that you post and now they spend a little time with you, they get that emotional connection. And then they're going to resolve in their mind, like, I need to do something with this person. I need to lean in with this person. They're going to take an action with you. So on LinkedIn and YouTube, we did that. We were able to do that with one individual piece of content, right? Because it's longer form, where they spend longer amounts of time with you. Whether you're talking about the problem, talking about your approach to the problem, and you're giving them proof that you can solve it and a call to action and all of that. On Instagram/Facebook, you got to break it down. So instead of having a whole post where you can do all of those phases at one time, each post is going to address one of those phases. So here's what I mean. Recognition is like, you ever feel like you're screaming into the void, posting content nobody sees, working your butt off, and you're getting, remember the 47 likes that I said in the other example. And then you talk about that. You're just like meeting them at the point of the problem or the pain that they're feeling or whatever. And that's a post. You don't get to address all of them in one post because it's short. A different post might be, let me tell you what I learned. I just came back from a conference and they're teaching the stuff that I've been telling my students for years, which is how I actually feel with the Google thing. They're like, we need people who've engaged. We need people who are really committed to coaching. We need people who are, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I do this every day. This is what I do. You talking about me? You're actually asking me to be me on your platform and your dime. That's what I'm hearing. Is that what you're saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, here's what I figured out. Most people are doing it this way, but actually need this. That's a post that's connecting, emotionally resonating with people, but you're telling them about your platform or your solution. And then you can have posts about, case studies, outcomes, testimonials, things that have worked for you in the past. So it's like, let me tell you about my client. Yesterday, listen, I told y'all, I'm waiting on Brittany to give me permission to share her 5-star pitch with you because I was floored. I was like, girl, wait a minute. You just want to print money. What I'm hearing is you just want to print money for the rest of your life. You just want to walk around and everywhere you go, you're going to make some money. That's what I'm hearing. Is that what we're intending to do? Because this 5-star pitch right here, it makes me want to go back. And you guys didn't get to see me clowning in the place that should not be named, but I used to, every Tuesday and Thursday. I keep saying this, and I gotta order it on Amazon or whatever. I need the flags. When they throw a flag on the play in football, I need a set of flags, penalty flags, so I could just be like, and a whistle. I just, hey, no, hold on. I can call people on that. but I also need a jersey, a referee jersey to wear to just because when she sent me that, I had to read it out loud to myself, and I was like, "This right here is like touchdown." It's like y'all know if I stand up on this thing, that's why I gotta hurry. They're building me a whole backdrop back here, so when they do, I'll take this virtual thing off. I went on. I want to stand up. I can't stand up on here because I disappear when I stand up. That was a 5-star pitch. This woman has cracked the code. She went down. It's like the Beverly Hillbillies, the song. It's the song about all about. That's where Fresh Prince got that from. Do y'all know that? They made the theme song because of the Beverly Hillbillies. Because they told the whole story of the show in the theme song. And he was like, we have to do that. And that's what that was. So what is the Beverly Hills? Now I can't remember. Now that I'm saying that, I can't remember. But y'all know what I'm talking about. They were poor, they were struggling. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground comes some bubbling crude. He struck oil, right? And then next thing you know, they're something millionaire. And the kinfolk said, hey, move away from there. They said, California is the place you want to be. And so they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, all that. My friend has struck oil with her 5-star pitch. And that's what I want for everybody in this group. If you keep doing this work until you can talk about your work in a way that moves people, it just moves people. Just every time you speak, they move. How did you make millions of dollars, Law? How did you do How did you raise this money with these investors? I'm telling you how. So once you get your 5-star pitch, now we're just digitizing it and showing up on these platforms, giving them a little taste of it, a little piece of it, a little taste of it, so they can come into your world. Okay. So whether you are meeting them at the point of their problem, whether you're explaining something about your process, or whether you're talking about the solution, that was my point. People who, here's my client, she started out, she didn't know what was going on, working with me for a year, and now she's outside. Here's what she changed. You can have that kind of a post, right? But each different phase is going to meet people where they are. It's just micro moments because people are scrolling. They got about 3 seconds where they're tapping in and then they're moving on. So you can create an emotional connection with people in 2-3 seconds on Instagram and Facebook. That's what you're supposed to do. So the way to do that, think about it, is like micro moments, little paintings in your gallery, if you will. So if they see something that talks about the problem, they're like, oh, this person gets me. They understand me. If they see something that talks about your process, they're like, oh, this approach makes sense. That totally makes sense. If they see something about your solution or a client you worked with in the past, they're like, oh, they actually get results. And then they're like sending you a message like, hey, how can I work with you? What's the deal? They're looking for your link in bio and all the things, right? So we need to come up with some content pillars, some post formats, a way to kind of do this, spend one day a week doing this and be great versus trying to figure it out every single day. So your pillars need to fall into one of these 3 categories. So the problem / pain / struggle, posts that are validating. Let me give this to you guys in the chat. And it's still going to follow that same 80-20 rule. Most of what we do is going to be adding value for people. And then every 5th post, we're going to invite them to something. Okay. All right. So pillar number 1, recognition. We're talking about their pain, their problem, their struggle. Things that validate their frustration, validate what they're feeling and going through. Things that give language to what they're experiencing, that make them feel seen, heard, understood, cared for, valued. Just pop, pop, pop. Little post, little video, a little something. Make sure the title is reflecting that. That's all you gotta do. The second type of content would be things that kind of make their brain go, okay, there's a solution to this. So talk about your methodology, talk about your unique perspective, or things that demonstrate your expertise. This is how I would approach this. Most people do it that's this way, but I would do it this way. Right? And then you have a set of content around things that prove your results. So client stories, somebody I just worked with, I just left this conference, I just got off stage, and here's what I taught the people, da 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 da. You know, your own success story, case studies, and testimonials. And you can also, you know, go behind the scenes and tell your story, your struggles, and all that. That's ISDR. And then every 20% of that, you might be like, hey, I'm outside. Hey, here's a free guide to do this. Hey, here's some next steps if you want to do this, da, 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 and invite them to something, right? That's literally it. Like, we're overcomplicating social media. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. It's not that hard. We can do this. So short of, you know, feeling like your life is being threatened, you can get on social media and be fine. So if you just broke it up into these categories that I talked about: problem, process, solution, proof, you know, connection, your humanity, your storytelling, and all of that, and then inviting people. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of content every week. Yeah, every week. And it's like, what platform should I be on? What do I need to do? How much money do you want to make? That's how we determine that. If you want to make a bunch of money, be on all the platforms. If you want to go slow, then, you know, pick 1 or 2. It's up to you. So here we go. If we are posting on Instagram and Facebook, it's the same thing to me. This is how we structure the posts. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. We want like in the beginning of the post, like the first line or so, you can do something provocative, a provocative question or a statement. This is what's happening, da da da. While y'all were watching Diddy, da 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 da. You know, 85% of people miss this, blah blah blah. Here's what I learned after 20 years of coaching. This is what I learned. 20 years, they haven't been that long, but you know, whatever. I'm today years old when I learned this. You know, I took me however age you are to learn this, and I'm gonna tell you this in 5 minutes. Provocative, something that makes me want to click and be like, what you talking about? I increased my revenue by 87% when I did this. Well, what is this? I want to know. Curiosity is the highest frequency. So the more your headline or your first line or whatever can make somebody say, ooh, what is that? They call it clickbait. It's not. I mean, they've hijacked it, but curiosity is the highest frequency. So if you can say something that makes them want to know, ooh, what are we talking about? Then you've already won. That's the first battle, right? Then the third or fourth line should be describing what you see happening, what's going on in your perspective, from your worldview, you know, your opinion. Most people think this, but actually it's this, and you go into that. And then the ending should leave them thinking, right? So I tried to come up with an example. I couldn't get a good one, but basically, I don't know if you have something you want me to try to do, I'll do one in real time. But basically, you want to capture their attention, curiosity, tell them your perspective, your worldview on the thing, and then leave them open to a discussion about it. That's a post. That's it. So you stop the scroll with the thing that makes them curious or the provocative thing. There's recognition. They feel seen, heard, understood because you're saying something that they also can relate to. And you're not necessarily selling anything. You don't have to have a call to action, like click my link and do all that. But you have created curiosity. They want to know more. They want to lean in more. And then you're out. You give them something and you're out. Just like an art gallery. So why do people who don't know what they're doing, who've never taken a course in entrepreneurship, they just, follow their intuition? Why do they make millions and billions of dollars versus people who study this and work on this for years and they don't succeed? I see it all the time. People been outside, 4, 5, 6, 10 years in business, and they not really making any money versus people who just have followed their gut and they're millionaires and they sold their business. And they're just casually doing it. They're not studying. They're not, doing all of that. But the people who are studying it in the programs are like cautious and nervous and going to all these programs and going to all these events, and it's not happening. What's that about? Hey, can you relate to that? Are you running around going to events? Meatballs and alcohol should become a national like nationally known phrase. Okay. Are you outside? I don't know if that's a thing outside of Atlanta. Go ahead. Oh, she came off mute accidentally. I don't know if people are just like running to events in other cities, but in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a contagion. It's a problem. So I could actually blow up the dollhouse if I was gonna intentionally go on social media, just by talking about that. Why is it that the people who are actually making money out here, the founder of Calendly, okay, is not from Atlanta. He's like Nigerian or something, but he's in Atlanta. You have never seen this man at a networking event ever in your life. You don't even know this man. Who is this man? Come on, Kiki Palmer. I don't know this man. Who is this man? But yet we running around to all these events and stuff, and the people who are making money are not at these events. That's my point. So, I mean, can we talk about this? Like, what's going on with the networking events? It's not leading to a bag. Are you getting a bag at your events? Let me know in the comments. Woo! That's a post. So that's something that will resonate with where people are in their experiences that they can relate to, right? You can do a post about your framework. It's like, make a bold claim, you explain your framework, and then you give them a simple takeaway. There's only, there's one principle that's going to change your business life. If you've been struggling in business, you don't know what's going on, it's one thing you don't know. Here's what it is. They told you something wrong. I don't know what people said about entrepreneurship, but listen, let me tell you what it actually is. All financial capital is social capital. Or I can say personal development and business development are the same thing. Anything like that. I'm telling you, this is my worldview. Do what you want to do with this information, but this is what it is. Your website sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like you're failing because of this. You stand on that, right? And then you explain it, break it down in a couple of sentences or whatever, and you have an image that backs that up. And then you're out. You're like, if you want to know more about this, you want to talk about this, come on over here. We're having this conversation. And you're out. That's it. Right? So that helps more people know who you are, gives you more visibility, helps them to trust you, and helps people to want to take another step with you. That shows your framework, your thinking, your approach, your mindset. You give them something that they can take action on immediately. It's something that is shareable, that they can repost and save and do all of that. But we're complicating, we're overcomplicating social media. Just like we were talking about earlier. What is the dollhouse? What is your business? What is the thing that you're building? We don't know yet. We don't have language for it yet, and that's okay. We get in motion first. We just get out here and do it. We know there's something there. We know there's something to it. We see the pattern recognition. People need what we have, blah, 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 blah. So we don't have to find the language. Let them give you the language. What is the dollhouse to you guys? That's what I want y'all to send me the videos and the audios or whatever. What is it to y'all? I'll take that language and now that's how I talk about it if I want to scale it or send it to more people or whatever. So everybody here can do the same thing. You're just doing a micro version of that. That's what social media is for. It's just a way to digitize the way that you show up in the world in real life. We're just going to digitize it. So another format you could use is like the mini story. I don't think anybody's ever taught social media quite this way. I hope this is helpful to you guys. But like, here's a little tiny story. So you set the scene. You know, it's 2007. I'm just leaving the club with my homegirls, and and then I didn't know my life was about to change. So all of a sudden, I don't know you from Adam, but the human brain is locked into a story. So if you start telling a story, I'm like, skirt. So I stop what I'm doing. I want to know what happened, girl. What happened? So then you tell what happened. So I walk out the club. We waiting on the Uber, and this man pulls up in his Ferrari, child. And he said, "Y'all ain't got to take no Uber. Get in the car with me." So we get in the back of his Maserati, and we drove around that night. And here's what happened. And then you give the result. 22 years later, that's my husband, and we have 4 kids. Like da 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 da. And now I'm helping people find the love of their life, and blah 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 blah. Join my group. Like, do you see what I'm saying? You can do this. You can tell stories. You could tell client stories. You could tell your own stories. You can meet people where they are. You could talk about your framework. You could talk about most people believe this, but actually it's this. It's your worldview on display. That's what social media is, specifically Instagram and Facebook. It's not just like, here's what I'm eating today, or like, video while you walk into your dentist appointment or whatever. It's your worldview intentionally broken down into these bite-sized pieces so somebody can come and follow those breadcrumbs and follow you back home. Okay, it's emotional. You give recognition. You solve a problem. You show them what's possible. It makes you feel relatable, and it's memorable because stories stick in their brains. Everybody can do this, you guys, and I think it's important for us to start showing up that way. I want us to ultimately become masters and samurais on social, but most of us don't have our 5-star pitch nailed just yet. So we'll get there. We'll get there. It's fine. It's fine. I want you to keep going on the journey. But for those of you who are trying to be intentional about your social media this year, I want you to understand what these different platforms are and how to use them effectively. So any questions, comments, concerns, challenges, feedback, perspective, or story time? Give it to me now.
This was great. I wasn't thinking about social media quite like this, as them being separate platforms for separate intentions. So would you say that is YouTube Shorts more like Instagram, or is
Yes.
that more like, okay?
Absolutely. So the thing I love about YouTube is why I've been studying it and been on that platform exclusively, studying it rather, for the last 2 years, because YouTube is the only one that has all of these things in one. You can do a post like on and build community. That way you can do the shorts, like you said, which is more like Instagram and such and so, and then you can do the long form as well. It doesn't necessarily cross over into LinkedIn. If you were limited to only 2 platforms, I would do YouTube and LinkedIn, because YouTube accomplishes the same thing that, yes, Instagram, all of those features is on YouTube as well.
Okay, that makes sense, because I haven't been posting long form content, just short little snippets and slides that I've been making so far. But this will really help, because I have my content buckets, but this will help me tighten them up. And using that language that you said, like from the customers, I wrote a bunch of, questions and frustrations that she was having, that she was telling me about, and then also TikTok has a feature, just for anyone listening, that shows you what people are searching for when they see your video. So I have started taking note of that. I don't have many searches yet, but one was like, why is my WordPress site not updating?
Ooh, that's really helpful. Yeah.
So they have a spot for that. So that's nice.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna curate a list of these questions and searches, and then figure out how to fit them into my social media.
That is great. I'm gonna research that, and that'll be my TikTok lesson maybe tomorrow.
Right.
But
yeah, if you
that's really
go to
cool.
TikTok Studio, then there's like an analytics section for I don't think it's for static posts. It's just for videos. But yeah, I saw that and it was really eye-opening. I was like, okay, I can see, you know, the top 5 searches or whatever that people were looking for.
That's
so
really
I'm like,
cool.
oh, I can add that to my recognition posts, or you know.
Yep. They work for us. Do you know these
yeah.
platforms work for us? They're telling us all the information. They're
Yes,
telling
I
us
love it.
what we need to know, like, so we can do what we need to do. Because they don't know either. This is the point. They don't actually know either. These
They're
people
experimenting.
They out here experimenting. Child, listen, give me the data and give me the tools and the platform.
Right. Let me know
And
so I can
be okay. Exactly.
Yes.
I love that. That's really
But
cool.
yes, thank you for this. This was a great lesson.
Absolutely.
They all are, but this is amazing. I'm excited about going and tightening up my posts, because I was thinking about switching it up a little bit more to get some more views. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys post. We're overcoming our resistance to social. We're gonna be outside. We're gonna have people coming and looking and checking for us, because we can. I mean, why not? Let's put our brilliance on display. We're broadcasting our brilliance, and this is how we do that. Any other thoughts, questions before we jump off? Tracy, I'm looking at you. Let me see. Boom. Yeah, if all hearts and minds are clear, y'all, we're gonna do this again tomorrow. I will not be late. That will never happen again. Everything broke down, but I still came and performed. I still came and gave the people.
You gave us value.
Come on.
That's all that matters.
So
okay, I do.
Go ahead, Tracy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm like outside with the goats.
I can only imagine.
Okay, my question is: do you feel like long content is easier to break down into small content, or should we be making specifically punchy, catchy, short content straight from the catch?
I would say it depends on your style. Obviously, like, look at me. I talk forever. I just talk. Right. So for me, I use, like, you sent that tool earlier, and now I can use either Riverside or Opus Clips that will take my long form thing, and then it'll pull the hot moments from that and turn it into short clips, right? Because that's my style. Versus if your style is like, you ever thought about this? Da-da-da-da-da, and you just have like a moment or just like a burst of whatever, then do that. So go with whatever style is natural to you and post it. Because, so for example, I have a couple of people, like I said, I study this space a lot. So there's a set or camp of people, they write long form, like they do a whole article every morning. They write this whole like big piece about whatever, right? And then from that they break it down into these things that are going to show up on all their socials for that day or that week. And that's fine. But also, if you just have a moment, I have another set where they will do like a thought or like a quote, or like somebody taught me this, or I just read this and it meant something to me, and they'll put it on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, and they'll post it. And then they wait to see which ones get the most traction on the Twitter thing. And then from that, they turn it into a longer post. And from that, they turn it into a video, and then, like that. So they go from short to long, and some people go long to short. So just go with your energy, with your natural.
I love that response. That's not what I thought you. Well, it's never what I thought you were going to say.
What you thought I was going to say, girl?
I'm always expecting something cookie cutter, or something like, okay, she caught me at the last minute, let me just throw in an answer. And I think I always underestimate how much you already know instinctually, and how much research you do that makes this look easy, but it's really not easy what you're doing. So I think I'm just like, okay, this is different. Okay, that makes complete sense.
What do you think? What's your natural style? What do you think?
Well, I think I have punchiness, and I think I can definitely create short format. It's just going to take me being more bold right off. I think I explain too much because I think like telling my business is authenticity, but you've been teaching me that's not what that is. So I think there's a balance that I'm looking for to try to get to the point. And the more I have less time to shoot, ironically, it helps me to get to the point easier. So
like that one that you sent me, because you said, oh, I had to get on this call with all, so let me hurry up. And that was so powerful. Girl, you need to do that every day. Just go in and just talk to the people. You had a point in your mind. You had one point that you wanted to share with your audience, and you were talking like you were talking to one person, and you just went in. And it was so powerful. That's what you need to do.
You said the power of giving your attention to
audience.
This is fascinating. I think this is fascinating. That's a fascinating thought. Like even when I'm on live, I can actually feel like I'm talking to one person because I leave friends voice notes all the time, and they're like, Tracy, we saved that, or they'll tell me I saved that. I'm keeping that. I have to go back and listen because I know I'm talking to one person, but I can actually feel like I'm talking to one person. That's an actually different way of posting altogether. That would actually make me more authentic.
You know who I learned that from?
Yes.
You want to know who I learned that from?
No.
Oprah.
No.
Oprah.
Damn.
This is why Oprah became Oprah. Okay, she was sitting on her little yellow couch that's in the Smithsonian until they tear down the Black People's Smithsonian because Trump is on his way. And she would talk to them people like she was talking to one person, and with no cameras, with no audience, nothing. And she taught me that. She told me that.
I love that. I had another question. Oh, could you send a link for that thing that you said that breaks down the content and finds out the punchy things? You just said 2 of them. I don't remember. Was it Riverside or something like this?
Oh, yes. Let me put it right here. Riverside.fm. It's not pricey. They have some that are affordable. That's
not
one.
Free.
I mean, well, they have a free one. I'm not sure. And then the other one is Opus Clips. So I put that in the chat. So you can check it out.
I'll check it out. My last question is, I know you can't tell us Brittany's pitch, but what I do want to ask is, what were obviously she used a 5-star pitch, but what were the elements that, like even you said, she didn't even read it to you, she just sent it. So it was coming off the page. What were the elements that spoke to you that we can implement in our pitches? Because I'm definitely still working on mine.
Let me break that down in our 6 o'clock on tonight. It was story that it was telling a story for sure. She had all the elements of emotion and logic in there. She started the pitch with a story. Have you ever walked into a room and da 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 da? Have you ever da 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 da? And then she said, this is what happened to me, blah, blah, blah. So then she goes into her founder story. And it's something that we could relate to. So you know how I always use the example of like statistics of like Flint, and like, everybody can't do that for their business, but there's something that you can say that everybody can relate to that you're talking to. She started with that, and then it easily went into her founder story from that place. And then she introduced herself. I'm a therapist. I'm looking at it right now. And I've been doing this for a while, but she talked about her great grandmother. Like she went all the way there and in terms of her entrepreneurship. And then she came back and she was like, this is what makes our work different. What I discovered was most people are out here doing this, but actually what we do in our work is not massage, it's this. And then she brought it back to the problem that they solve in workplaces and stuff like that. Then she gave me some statistics and some data. It was just beautifully done. I'm sure she'll say yes. I'm sure she will.
No, what you explained almost sound like it comes back to what you just said. It sounds like she was speaking to an audience of one. She wasn't trying to hit every customer. Her pitch was speaking to an audience of one.
Yeah, and then she went into here's how it goes. We start with the free thing, and then we do the subscription plan, and then My team would come, and like it was amazing. And then she went into her credibility. You know, we already done this for this city and this municipality and these people, and we outside with it. And so, what are you gonna do? And then she's like, if you're an HR leader, if you're a business owner, if you're this and this and this, and you want this outcome that she done painted this beautiful picture of, let's get started with a free demo. Let's, you know, da 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 da. It's so beautiful. I swear to God, I've never quite seen it quite like this done, like sent back to me in written form. Wow. And I was just like, girl, stop playing. So yeah, I think it's just like you said, what is the dollhouse? You know, what is your business? If you fill in the blank, what is it? And once we know what that is, now we can reverse engineer it and put the language around it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'm always at a loss for words. Today I was in the sauna after working out, and these ladies, we were talking, and then we got into a place called Sculpted by Tracy, but it's not my company. Mm-hmm. But they were just talking really high. Oh yeah, she's like this, she does this, and just one lady, but it was just, she was speaking so highly. And I eventually, you know, went to go visit the place right after I left the gym and called the sister. And she was just saying, yeah, you know, even when I was in the back of, when I was sharing a space with someone else, people still were able to find me. She said things, you know, she's like, you know, God be the glory or something. Cause she was like, she does body sculpting, like, you know, lymphatic drainage and all this stuff, and just moving through massages too. And I was like, wow. She was like saying that basically her network, like, she's like, yeah, my social media is not really up yet. It's up, but I'm not doing a lot on it because I was in nursing school. I'm just now getting it back on point. Mm-hmm. But she was like, people are just looking for me. And I was like, damn, this is what Doll is talking about. Like, it has to be organic. It's not just paying for ads. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was beautiful.
I love it here. I love it here. And I thank y'all for being a part of this journey. Like I said, you know, the language, you might come later, but the impact that you're able to have on people is, like you said, it's organic. And now you've done that enough, you can recognize that pattern. And now we're just putting language to it. We're just putting a package around it. And now we're just telling more people about it. That's all it is to build a business. That's all it is. So thank y'all for being here. And if all hearts and minds are clear, I hope you guys can make it on at 6 o'clock tonight. But you know, we'll be here at 6, and then we'll be here again tomorrow at 2.